And how long do you think it'll be till marijuana actually becomes recreational in Florida?
I think that by 2020 it'll be voted in. There's a law firm in Tampa right now, Michael Minardi Law. He is a huge advocate. He's been working with the state of Florida for the signatures for this. I actually went over with him one day and we counted out, I think, 100,000 signatures. We go through, you have to divide them up and look at the actual signatures before you can actually submit them to the state. And so that's 2020.
Okay.
I think, though, now Governor DeSantis has said he's not a big recreational guy.
That's the new governor in Florida.
That's the new governor in Florida. He's been super, super, super receptive on getting this thing rolling. They've finally hired the new director of cannabis here for the state of Florida. Her name is Holly Bell. She moved here from Kentucky. She's working with Nikki Fried, who's the new agriculture commissioner. They are working together to bring legalization here to Florida. So they're pushing hard on that side. I think at the end of the day, when you really look at the tax benefits that are coming into the state, the fact that this crime rate will also go down, which is a huge benefit.
Yeah.
When you look at what's going to happen on the just on the side of bringing in new tourism, I mean, you figure if Florida's bringing in right now about 100 million tourists a year, that would probably go to 130, 140,
Yeah.
real easy. And so the economy would just boom for that side of it. I think that from our side of it, from the hard car side of it, which is nice, we can put vets to work, especially combat vets to come back to work. Our business model looks great. And we continue to make that push to bring these guys in, and girls. We actually looked at some females as well to bring them on, got great skill sets. And to better help educate everybody with regards to what's going on with cannabis here in the state of Florida.
Yeah, there's also those big lawyers out in Orlando, the Morgans. They're pretty big advocates of.
Let me tell you, they're huge. It's actually quite interesting. As we got farther involved in this, we've actually had some guys reach out to us, former politicians, the former Speaker of the House, John Mills, Jeff Camcott, the former Lieutenant Governor, obviously John Morgan, looking at when I met with Mr. Morgan, figuring out why he was in this industry was kind of interesting. I said, so do you have a dog in this fight?
Right.
And Mr. Morgan actually has a brother who was paralyzed, and I want to say 30 years ago, and realized that the meds they were giving him were not really working the way they had hoped they would. And he realized at that moment that cannabis, this is his brother, realized that cannabis seemed to be the best medication that he could get from a pain reliever perspective. A lot of the medications he was taking were interfering with his appetite. Well, obviously, we know cannabis is going to give you that appetite. Yeah. So it improved just a quality of life just from that aspect of it.
Right.
And I believe that Mr. Morgan saw that, listen, if my brother goes to prison or jail, he's not coming out a better guy. So this gave him a reason to get involved, and he would actually like to see his daughter be the queen of pot over there in Orlando.
The Queen of Pot.
Queen of pot.
That's a nice ring to it.
Hey, listen, like I say, it's it's been an interesting journey to see the politicians get involved, to hear the reason why. It's the same story over and over again. Even with speaking to Mr. Mills, that he had a friend of his just here recently committed suicide. He believed that if he had been able to medicate with cannabis, that wouldn't have happened.
Was that guy a combat vet as well?
Absolutely. Was out of Vietnam. I mean, listen, we just lost a colonel over here at the VA in St. Petersburg about a month and a half ago, where he actually blew his brains out in the parking lot, sitting on his awards after 34 amazing years.
Damn.
And how does that happen? How does a full bird colonel that has this great background, all these accommodations, awards, beautiful wife, you finally retire to settle in to really enjoy the last part of your life, blow your brains out? So those are the things that we continue to push against. I've actually found a group here locally, the OptiCore group, which basically are taking special operations guys and putting them back to work. So this is the kind of guys we're going to go back through and look to bring these guys into the fold. And obviously from a training perspective, we have all regular training, and again, we carry firearms, we carry ARs. We have to be certified with those in the state to carry those, especially in an armored vehicle as well.
Right.
So.
Wow. And you knew that really famous sniper, Chris Kyle, right?
We actually do a thing down here in Florida every